Perpendicular curb ramps shall have running slopes that cut through or as built up curb ramp at right angles or meet the gutter break at the right angles. So here's what we're talking about. A perpendicular curb ramp is right here. So you come through at a zero curb, nice and flat, and then you turn 5 feet and go up at an 8.33 slope. This design has built-in construction tolerances. I think this is a great best practice. Again, this is not a required public right-of-way diagram, or just an example of how to design it with built-in construction tolerances. Their city or county or state standard is to build it at 7.5. They have a built-in tolerance that doesn't get close to the federal 8.33. The cross slope is 1.5 instead of 2%. If the contractor's off a percent or two, they're still good. Another one here, but it would need to be 4 foot wide minimum. They've gone 5, so it exceeds that, and it got a grade break here. I'm sure you could debate whether these truncated domes comply on a radius. They're a barrier to most and help very few. And if they're off just a little bit, they're still going to be pretty tactile. Diagonal curb ramp here is a single ramp, usually perpendicular, located at the apex of the corner. Should be avoided in new construction. This is a real bad design. They're being forced to come into the vehicle traffic to get to this curb ramp. This curb ramp has an old herringbone design, and that was for tactile cues to tell you which way the crosswalk was. So if you're coming along and you're wayfinding, your cane detects these grooves. It kind of drives you towards this crosswalk. These grooves go that way. That's not in code anymore. It's not in the PROWAG. It's not illegal to have them, if you're wondering what those are.